Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Pwnage StormBreaker V3. This was sent out to me by Pwnage and it will not change my opinions or thoughts on this product. But let's just get into what's in the box first. So obviously you will get the mouse, you will get this nice Pyramid 8K dongle, and then this is the box we have right here. It's a black box. It opens like this, which is really premium. This stuff was just placed on top so I could pick it out easier. This is not how it'll come in the box. Everything will come under here. So you do get this braided black Type-C cable. You do get some extra skates, and then you do get an assortment of extra grips. We'll talk about that later and why you'll need that, but let's just close this back up and let's get into the mouse itself. So this mouse has a Paw 3950, 3600 max DPI, and 8K polling support. The weight on this mouse is about 49 grams. 49 grams for this specific shape and feel feels really nice. I'm really happy with the weight on this mouse. In terms of side holes, I don't love the side holes. I'm assuming they didn't put solid sides because they wanted a specific weight, and they also probably didn't want to do a new mold. But this mouse would be way better if they can have the 49-gram weight and have solid sides. Literally the only reason I have a grip here is because I just don't like touching the holes. It has nothing to do with the coating. In terms of shape, this is, I would say, a more medium, maybe even somewhat small ergo shape. Right here I have compared to the X-Lite V3ES. This is considered a medium size. It's a size 2. And you can kind of see it's just a lot more chunky and it's just a little bigger. This just feels so much more comfortable for my 19x9 hands. As you can see, I just grip it. I'm almost on the edge right here, but this shape kind of like just fits me perfectly for my claw grip. I have more relaxed claw, and if you have a more aggressive claw, this will be even better. So if you have 20 plus centimeter hands, this will probably actually be too small for you. But if you have around 19 or slightly or even a bit smaller size hands, this is actually a really solid shape. This is probably the ergo shape that fits my hand the best. It just feels comfortable but doesn't feel too big like a lot of ergo shapes do. And also I am doing relaxed claw, but you can definitely pull off palm on here. I think this would actually be a little too small for palm, at least for me. So then you would want a bigger shape, but if you're a claw ergo user, this is a really good shape. In terms of coating, so as you see, I did use grips here. I didn't really need grips anywhere other on the mouse. The coating is perfectly fine on the rest of the mouse. It just felt like it built up on the clicks and I had to use grips. It's kind of unfortunate that on a super expensive magnesium mouse you have to use grips, but not everyone will. But there was definitely some sweat buildup for me on the clicks. In terms of the magnesium and premiumness, so yes, this is a magnesium mouse and it does feel pretty premium. If it gets cold in your room, this feeling will get cold. I don't think magnesium feels insanely premium. I don't think carbon fiber does either. I think it's kind of overrated a bit, but yes, this will feel a little bit more premium than a plastic mouse. This does feel pretty good, but we'll get into the QC later. In terms of the stock skates, this is actually one of the best things on this mouse. Pwnage has always had one of the best stock skates. These are PTFE, and as you can see, they just feel really good. They're pretty fast, but definitely have some stopping power. So like most mice, after a few days while I'm testing them, I take off the skates and switch to aftermarket skates. But this is one of the very few mice where I just didn't care to. I just have no reason to take these off. In terms of battery life, I did have to charge this like twice. I wouldn't say this has the most insane battery life, but I think it's okay, solid. Then let's get into performance. So I used this thing on 2K the entire time. I never touch 8K. I am not a fan of using 8K. I think it's a scam, but I'm sure the 4K performance will be fine as well. The 8K might be fine. I just can't even test 8K on my PC. And in-game just feels really good. I didn't really have any noticeable performance issues between this and any of my other mice, so you can use this and not really have to worry about the performance. In terms of software, I didn't use the software much, but it's It's a pretty good looking software. It's okay. It's nothing special, but you don't have to worry about this being bad software. Now let's get into the clicks. So this does have Omron opticals, and they feel pretty good. I'll just give you a sound test. Scroll wheel. Side clicks. So these Omron opticals feel pretty good. There is definitely a little bit of pre-travel on the left click and a tiny bit on the right click. It's definitely, there's definitely some on the right click here and a tiny bit on the left click. It's definitely more noticeable on the right click, but I didn't notice it in game, but I just want to let you know that this does have a tiny bit of pre-travel. But at the end of the day, these clicks feel pretty fine. They're so much better than the clicks on the Trinity. In terms of the scroll wheel, it feels a tad like tight and heavy. But honestly, I tried this mouse yesterday with a super light scroll wheel, and it made me kind of enjoy the scroll wheel. But some people might not like a super tight scroll wheel, so I'm just letting you know. And I have no issues with the side button or the side button positioning. These feel pretty good. So let's get into overall QC. So the sides of this mouse feel solid. The clicks feel pretty good. Scroll wheel feels pretty good. The base feels pretty solid. There's a tad of flex like right here, but you're never going to have contact on that. But the top shell does flex a little bit if you press down. Like obviously you're never going to put this amount of pressure, but I think they should secure these corners a little better because you see they pop out a lot. So if like something falls on this, it's not going to be the best, but I think the QC is acceptable on this. It's not going to be the best ever on a mouse, but I'm not really complaining. And one of my favorite features about this mouse is that it has a sensor adjustment. And right here, we have a screwdriver keychain that has two different sides, and you can use it to adjust the sensor position. So I moved mine all the way up, and I really like the sensor position. This is just a really neat feature that other companies should have. And that's pretty much it on the mouse. Let's just get into the price. The price is $169. You can use code SPEC to save 5%. Overall, do I think this is worth it at $170? Honestly, I don't really think this is the greatest deal on the market. I think if you buy this mouse and $160 isn't a ton of money for you, you could be happy with it. But I just don't think it offers that much more than a lot of other mice do on the market. Like, I definitely don't think this is a bad mouse. I think it's a good mouse, but there are definitely some issues here, like the coding not being the best on the clicks, like the pre-travel. The scroll wheel, again, might be too tight for someone, but this is a really solid shape, and it just feels like a pretty much premium mouse. So if that's what you're going for and the issues that I mentioned don't bother you, then yeah, I can recommend it, but I just wouldn't put this on the top of my recommendation list just because it's so expensive. If this were like $20, $30 less, I would easily recommend it, but that's pretty much it. If you like it, I'll link it down below. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.